We've all been hearing about custom programs, projects, and agencies for months, but now we're really starting to see and feel the impacts.
That's right. One of many trying to absorb the impact. The Everson Museum here in Syracuse. Joining us now is the museum executive director, Elizabeth Dunbar. Elizabeth, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So what has the Everson seen as far as funding cuts from Washington, D.C.? What's the impact been so far?
Well, right now we're looking at more than $100,000 in canceled grants. That comes through the National Endowment of Humanities, as well as New York Humanities, which was also receiving some funds through the NEH.
How'd you find out, by the way?
We received a very non-personalized letter from the National Endowment of Humanities. So, then we heard also from the National Endowment for the Arts that funding is going to be drastically reduced, and they're looking at potential layoffs as well. And that came to us at 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, so.
Yeah, a drastic
Not great.
reduction in funding. What kind of an impact are you looking at for the Everson?
Well, for our NEH funding cuts, those are reimbursement grants. So in some cases, we've already expended the funds, and so we will have to make those up in other ways. In other instances, we will have to either scale back the projects, postpone some projects, maybe eliminate a few things that we weren't hoping to eliminate. I mean, certainly means we have to look at our resources very carefully to see what we can really, what we can take on ourselves or find additional funding elsewhere. But in some cases, we just won't be able to do all the things that we wanted to do at the scale that we wanted to.
Are you still kind of going through line by line at this point, almost, through your budget and your programming, or are you kind of settled on what you're going to do yet?
At this point, we know what some of the big projects are that we're going to have to, in some cases, postpone. We just don't have the funds to do those. And some of those are capital improvements.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully later down the line, we'll be able to replace those funds some way. But, as all arts organizations are feeling the pain, if you will, those private funds are harder to come by, and there's a lot of competition for them.
Right, and I guess we wanted to kind of look at the bigger picture, too. What kind of an impact do you think this is going to have on the arts in general? Obviously, it's hurting your museum.
Yeah, it certainly hurts our bottom line, and I think across the board, across the nation, we're all kind of feeling that pinch. And like I said, we're all kind of going after other private foundations, corporate sponsors, looking to make up the difference. I think the other thing that we're really feeling now is that our typical, smaller donors, our regular members, the folks that come day in, day out, or give us $100 or $200 a year, they're finding that, other organizations have been cut, other agencies have been cut, National, Institute of Health, all of those, and where there are some critical needs, those funds that they have, their disposable income might be going to help out in really urgent issues. So, it's all up for grabs at this moment.
Sure. Yeah, the pie is shrinking.
The pie is shrinking, and I think the other thing that we're really feeling is that with the stock market, all the volatility that we're seeing, people aren't really sure what kind of income they will have. People who are on fixed incomes, who are depending on retirement savings, perhaps they're not able to give like they would in the past because they're not sure what their portfolio will look like at the end of the year. And the same is true for the Everson itself. We work with our endowment, provides a core amount of our funding every year, and as if the stock market dips, so does our income.
Oh boy.
Ouch.
Yeah. Elizabeth Dunbar from the Everson, thanks so much for stopping by. Unfortunately, it's under kind of these circumstances, but hopefully, things work themselves out and we can have you back in to talk about some more positive stuff.
Right, and please share events that are coming up with us so we can pass along to our viewers so they can help and pitch in.
Thank you. Well,
and help you thrive.
Yeah, we just need people in the door and help supporting what we do.
Thanks, Elizabeth.